In 1945, the world entered a new age, not because a war ended, but because a single explosion proved that humanity now held the power to erase itself. This is the story of how the atomic bomb was built, a story of fear, genius, secrecy, and consequences that still shape our world today. The year was 1939. Europe was collapsing under the rise of Nazi Germany, and deep inside the scientific community, a terrifying possibility was spreading. Hitler's scientists might be trying to split the atom and unleash a weapon unlike anything ever imagined. To refugees from Nazi persecution, physicists Leo Szilard and Albert Einstein realized what this could mean. If Germany succeeded, the world was finished. So they wrote a letter to the President of the United States. It would become one of the most consequential letters in human history. Their message was simple: a new type of bomb could be built, and it could destroy entire cities. That warning set everything in motion. By 1942, the United States launched the largest secret scientific effort ever attempted, the Manhattan Project. More than 130,000 people were recruited, entire secret towns were built, families lived behind fences with armed guards. No one knew what they were working on. Not even many of the scientists themselves. At the center of it all was a soft-spoken theoretical physicist, J. Robert Oppenheimer, the man who would later be called the father of the atomic bomb. Oppenheimer gathered the greatest minds of the era at a remote desert laboratory called Los Alamos. Their mission was clear, their deadline was urgent, their enemy potentially unstoppable. To build the bomb, they first had to understand the atom itself. Every atom contains a tiny nucleus. Break it apart, and a chain reaction releases unimaginable energy. It's a simple idea, but making it happen is one of the most complex engineering challenges in human history. Enrico Fermi built the first controlled nuclear chain reaction beneath a football stadium in Chicago. Other teams worked on enriching uranium and producing plutonium, elements rare and stable, and almost impossible to manufacture. Every breakthrough came with danger. Labs caught fire. Men were exposed to radiation. The stakes could detonate an atomic chain reaction that would destroy the entire facility. Yet the work continued, because the fear of a Nazi atomic bomb was greater than anything else. By 1945, after billions of dollars and countless secrets, the United States created two types of atomic bombs. One, little boy, uranium-based. Two, fat man, plutonium-based. But before they could be used, they needed to test them. The plutonium design, codenamed the Gadget, was chosen for the first detonation. Engineers assembled the device inside a small bunker in the desert of New Mexico. The scientists watching knew that once the bomb went off, the world would never be the same. Some even feared it could ignite the Earth's atmosphere. They ran the calculations again and again. The numbers said it was unlikely, but not impossible. On July 16, 1945, at 5:29 in the morning, the first atomic bomb in history was detonated. The blast was so bright that witnesses 20 miles away said it felt like the sun had risen twice. The explosion produced heat hotter than the surface of the sun. It melted the desert sand into green glass. The shockwave shattered windows over 160 kilometers away. When Oppenheimer saw the fireball rise into the sky, he recalled a line from an ancient Hindu scripture, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." The test had succeeded. Humanity had entered the nuclear age. Less than a month later, World War II was still raging. Japan refused to surrender, and the United States made a decision that remains one of the most controversial in human history. On August 6, 1945, the uranium bomb Little Boy was dropped on Hiroshima, a city of 350,000 people. In a single moment, over 70,000 people were killed. Tens of thousands more died from burns and radiation in the weeks after. 3 days later, a second bomb, Fat Man, destroyed Nagasaki. The scale of destruction was unimaginable. Within days, Japan surrendered. The war was over. But a new kind of fear had begun. For many, the atomic bomb was a triumph that had ended the bloodiest war in human history. But for the scientists who built it, it was something else entirely. Oppenheimer met with the U.S. president shortly after the war. He said, "I feel I have blood on my hands." Harry Truman angrily ended the meeting. He believed the bomb had saved lives, not destroyed them. But Oppenheimer's guilt never left him. The world now lived under a nuclear shadow. Countries raced to build even more powerful bombs. The Soviet Union, Britain, France, China all joined the nuclear arms race. The United States tested weapons hundreds of times more powerful than the Trinity device. In the decades that followed, nations built missile submarine satellites, tracked nuclear launches. Humanity lived in fear of a single mistake. A war between superpowers could destroy the entire planet in minutes. The same science that ended one war had created a new kind of uncertainty, one that continues today. The question is no longer how the atomic bomb was created, but whether the world can survive the future unleashed.